This episode starts with Cyril Karn getting dressed for his interview with the Imperial Bureau of Standards. Obviously, this Uncle Harlow has done some favors for Cyril. While having that blue milk breakfast, Cyril and Eddie, his mom, hear on the holonet about a terror attack and robbery on Aldhani. As a result, the Galactic Empire has imposed a blockade and launched an investigation. At ISB headquarters, Colonel Wolf Yularen addresses other senior ISB officials. Many of you will recognize Yularen from the Clone Wars and Rebels. He used to be the military leader in the Republic during the Clone Wars. Yularen imposes a tribute tax 5 times the amount stolen from Aldhani on any sector and harboring partisan activity. Yularen says he has spoken directly to Emperor Palpatine this morning, and that he granted the ISB access to Imperial Army and Navy resources. The Emperor will also be convening an emergency session of the Imperial Senate to propose a package of bills that will give the ISB unlimited powers of surveillance, search, and seizure. Yularen also announced they will be invoking the Public Order Resentencing Directive PORD later today. Any criminal act, even with indirect effect on the Empire, will become a Class 1 offense. All prison sentences will be evaluated, and all outstanding fines and levies are to be paid in full. Deidre Merrow listens, but is visibly upset. Later, ISB attendant Hurt speaks with Merrow, who believes Yularen's policies are playing into the rebels' hands. Elsewhere, Luthen receives news that 80 million credits were stolen during the Aldhani heist, and all military personnel have been replaced and are being interrogated. It is also confirmed that all tracking devices on the escape craft were disabled prior to reaching hyperspace. 143 Aldhani residents have been arrested under suspicion of abetting the terrorist. Mom Mothma has come for a visit and Luthen is alerted. Mothma asks if Luthen was responsible for what happened on Aldhani, and he evades the question. Mothma questions if Luthen understands that his plan was to understands the gravity of the situation, but Luthen explains that his plan was to get the Empire to overreact. Luthen states there are no rules, quote, going forward. Now, Luthen reminds me of Saw Gerrera and extremist tactics. Of course, Saw was very cutthroat and much more extremist than Luthen, but I'm just drawing the comparison. Cyril tours the Bureau of Standards on his first day at work. Cyril is questioned about his prior employment on Moana 1. Karn believes he was punished for trying to uphold the law. The supervisor offers to clear Karn's name and have his record expunged if he works in fuel purity. Cinta, still in Aldhani, gets ready to mount a speeder bike as she watches an Imperial Star Destroyer flying over the valley. On Coruscant, a disguised Kleia walks past Imperial security and meets with a disguised Vel Sartha and reassures her that money is safe. Vel is ordered to kill Andor to conceal any knowledge he has on Luthen. So now his former teammates are trying to hunt him down as well as the Empire. Things are about to get messy. Andor, in disguise, returns home to Ferrix and talks to Marva and his droid B2 Emo. Marva warns Andor that he shouldn't be here. The Empire has expelled Preox Marwana and taken over Ferrix. Marvel also reveals Tim Carwell betrayed him. Andor asks Marva and B2EMO to flee with him. Elsewhere in Coruscant, Mon Mothma attends a party. She meets with a visiting Trandril man, Tay Kolma, who is an old friend and banker. Privately, Mothma tells Tay that she needs his help for a political gain. Tay is cautious, despite his views on the Empire. Mothma is concerned that the Grand Vizier, Mas Amedda, has infiltrated her separatist coalition meetings. Mothma wants the Empire to think she is an irritation in order to conceal her true purpose, which is raising money. She seeks Tay's help in accessing her family accounts for establishing a Trandrillan charitable outreach foundation. Tay is warned not to confide any of what was shared to Perrin, who is Mothma's husband. Andor meets with Bix, and she blames Andor for putting the entire town at risk. Andor tries to blame Tim, but Bix said Andor cheats, lies, and steals. Finally, Andor gives Bix the 12,000 credits he still owes to Zanwan, Nurchi, Brasso, and Dima. Andor greets Marva and B2EMO once again, but Marva refuses to flee with Andor. Marva now believes in the rebellion and believes people are finally standing up. Elsewhere, Andor has adopted the fake name Keith Gurgo while hiding on the beach resort world of Neomos. I thought this planet was beautiful and I want to see more of it. He's sharing a room with a human woman named Wendy. While on his way to buy more Pizzos and Revnog, he is stopped by a shore trooper who thinks he is acting suspicious. The shore trooper calls her back up, and a KX security droid arrives. This is the same model as K2SO we saw in Rogue One. Andor is holding a necklock by the droid while attempting to reason with him. This scene was pretty funny. Andor is hauled up before a judge. As Keith Gurgo, he faces charges of disruption, anti-imperial speech, fleeing the scene of anti-imperial activity, and damaging imperial property. The judge sentences him to 6 years in prison, citing new imperial guidelines. Despite his protest, Andor is hauled away by two shore troopers. On Coruscant, Cyril Karn browses through records along with countless other employees. I thought this episode was a little bit lackluster until the end. It got a little bit more heated and there was a little bit more action at the end, which I liked. And I wonder how Andor is going to break out of the prison on Neomos, because he's not going to want to stay there for 6 years. He's innocent, but the Empire doesn't care. Who's going to break him out? Will Vel break him out and then try to kill him, or will the Empire find out, or could it be someone on Neomos? He already knows. What's his plan next? Does he have any other people that he's going to talk to, or has to pay off? Are we going to see any other characters like Tarkin or Thrawn this series? I'm really looking forward to it. Please subscribe. I think we're at 53 subscribers, on our way to 100. I would really appreciate it, and may the force be with you.